Welcome to Business Today, live from New York. I'm Michelle Fleury, and we begin right here in New York, where US markets have opened lower after Israel's overnight attacks on Iran. All of the major indices are in the red. Meanwhile, oil prices have risen sharply in response, up around 8%, as investors fear a wider conflict could disrupt crucial supplies from the Middle East. Around a fifth of global oil production passes through the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway adjacent to Iran. Today's price swings mark the largest intraday moves for major oil contracts since 2022. That's when Russia's invasion of Ukraine sent energy prices soaring. For more on the price of oil and what it means, Gaurav Sharma, energy analyst at Oilholics Anonymous, joins us now. Good to see you, Gaurav, this morning. What is next, do you think, for the price of oil now?
I think where the oil market finds itself is the precarious position of sort of peeking over the horizon, see what happens next. This kind of spike in prices is to be expected when an event of this magnitude transpires. It's a question of what happens next. The Iranians have retaliated. I think the Israelis are saying that this is a multi-day action that they're going to take. So if this escalates, and somehow we reach a situation whereby which Iranian energy infrastructure is targeted, you will see a further spike of another 4 or 5% in the market. So we're kind of sort of peering over our shoulders, looking backwards, forwards. What is the direction of travel here in terms of what Tehran and Mr. Netanyahu do?
And where does this leave Saudi Arabia?
I think Saudi Arabia has the position of sort of sitting and observing what's going on. It's already upping the stakes via OPEC in terms of bringing more oil back to the market. It's also cognizant of the fact that had this skirmish, had this level of hostilities, let's say transpired, say, sort of 10 years ago, the situation would have been very different, Michelle, because right now we have a lot of non-OPEC, non-Middle Eastern oil out in the market from Brazil, from Canada, from Guyana, from Norway, and especially the United States. So the Saudis are sort of the buffer producers of the world. They're observing the situation and they will be reactive to what happens next.
I like that, the buffer producers. Meanwhile, I want to ask you about some customers. China and Russia, they are notable buyers of Iranian oil. How do you think this leaves them? What do they do next?
At the moment, I think, we are looking at whether the Israelis decide to go for any Iranian energy infrastructure. If, let's say, the skirmish results in some damage to the Karg oil terminal in Iran, then China would be directly impacted because over the last couple of years, more and more so, China has been turning to Iran for discounted, sanction-ridden crude. So were those facilities to be attacked by Israel, the game changes. We could see a wider spike. But right now, there's a fair amount of oil in the market, and that's basically